What is up, guys? Brendan Dzwierzynski here with you live from the underside of the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, where the Kansas Jayhawks tonight picked up a 66-61 win over the Providence Friars to advance onto the Elite Eight for the first time since 2018. And it wasn't always a pretty game, or really ever a pretty game in this one for KU, but the Jayhawks are somehow able to hold on against the fourth-seeded Friars to pick up the win and advance on to a matchup Sunday against the winner of Iowa State and Miami. Those two teams taking each other on right now here at the UC. And this game is going to be remembered for the brutal shooting for both teams, to be completely frank about it. KU for the game only ends up shooting 22 out of 56 from the floor. Providence pretty much in the same boat. They were just 23 out of 68 shooting the ball. But in the end, it was the defensive presence for KU, as well as another incredible first half by Remy Martin, that was completely the game changer in this one for the Jayhawks. Let's start with that defensive pressure. That has really been a theme of the postseason for KU from the Big 12 tournament, how much better KU is playing as a unit defensively. Then in the first round against Texas Southern, a 16 seed, to be fair, but KU phenomenal defensively in that game. More of the same down the stretch in the win over Creighton, and then more of the same tonight in the win over Providence as well. Some major plays late in the game, just like against Creighton, in the round of 32 as well. Some big steals at the end of the game by KU, leading to fast break points, leading to free throws, ended up being clutch possessions in this contest. I already mentioned Remy Martin as well, and the kind of game he had in this one for KU on a day when KU just could not shoot the ball whatsoever. The final shooting percentage, I gave you the total numbers, how about 39.3% for the game. Now KU a little bit better at the free throw line than they were shooting the ball from the floor, 20 of 28, 71% there. But it was Remy Martin who had to have the huge game for KU to really give a little bit of an offensive boost to the Jayhawks in this contest. Remy ends up finishing the game 7 of 13 from the floor, 8 out of 13 at the free throw line for a season-high 23 points, and he really did it all. He also grabbed 8 rebounds in the contest. I mean, he was just, or 7 rebounds, He was all over the floor in this one. He put together an absolutely tremendous game. And if you're going to name players of the game, you put Remy Martin obviously at the top, but you have to throw Jalen Wilson into the mix as well. Wilson went into halftime with 10 rebounds. He was a menace on the glass all game long. He ends up finishing the game. I've got the stats right here in front of me. He goes just 5 out of 16 shooting the ball from the floor, 16 points, 11 rebounds, comes away with yet another postseason double-double after he had 14 and 14 in the round of 32 win over Creighton this past week. So even though the shooting for the game overall for KU, not especially good. Even though you had another tough shooting day from Ochai Agbaji, among other players. Agbaji just 2 out of 8 from the floor in this game. And now between the last 2 games, that's just 7 out of 22 from the floor for the consensus All-American and the finalist for the National Player of the Year honors in Ochai Agbaji. But he continues to get picked up by Remy Martin and Jalen Wilson. That has become the big two for so much of the year. It was Brown and Agbaji. Wilson in postseason play, it has been all about Martin and Wilson. They've been the 2 best for KU, and that continued again here tonight. On the other side for Providence, this is a team that struggled to shoot the ball incredibly poorly, and they shot it incredibly poorly anyway in the first half. They started the game 0 of 10 from three-point range. The end of the day, 4 of 23, which is actually slightly better than what KU did from three-point range. And the end of the game, Providence ended up shooting 17% from beyond the arc. KU 14%, just 2 out of 14. KU didn't make a single 3 in 4 attempts in the second half. So Providence hung tough. They went down by as many as 13 points in the second half, 36-23. Then came out with an unbelievable run, 19-5, to surge back ahead before Jalen Wilson went into takeover mode and eventually was able to put the Jayhawks back on top where they would stay for good. So after that huge run by Providence, KU showed some grit, showed some toughness. They were able to come away with the victory in this one. And speaking one more time about that defensive presence, and I want to make sure we get to a quote from Bill Self that he just had in his post-game press conference, just finished things up here at the United Center. He was just mentioning, he was asked about the connected defense for this team and how they've been playing over the course of the last now 8 games, all of which have been KU wins, and building on something he said from yesterday's media availability as well, talking about how this team is trying to force other teams to play poorly so KU can win without shooting the ball especially well. Well, I've already given you a bunch of the stats from this game. You can tell KU didn't shoot the ball well, but still came away with the victory. And he said he thinks this defense has been as connected, right now in the tournament as they've been all season long. And as for forcing other teams to play poorly, well, so KU doesn't have to win making shots, and we said we better have adapted to that because that's the way we've been playing today and over the last couple of games. So again, KU back into the Elite Eight for the first time since 2018, where they made it on to the Final Four. They will take on the winner of Iowa State and Miami. Those two teams taking each other on here at the United Center as we speak, as we wrap things up here. We will have full coverage for you tomorrow from Chicago. We will have media coverage, press availability, audio, all of that on our website, WIBWNewsNow.com. Post-game wrap-up as well coming up at the website. Again, that address, WIBWNewsNow.com. We'll also be here Sunday as KU plays in the Elite Eight with a trip to the Final Four on the line. And until then, from the United Center in the Second City, Chicago, Illinois, I'm Brendan Dzwierzynski.